Hey guys, how's it going? Apologize for no content in quite a while. It's been over 100 degrees every day for the past 3 weeks, I think. So I haven't even been riding motorcycles to work because, I don't know, 100-degree temperatures and lane splitting on the Ortega Highway. I'd rather just, sit in that, listen to music, and stay cool. Um, but today we've got some things we want to do to the 300. I have this aluminum number plate that has molly pattern and other mounting possibilities for lights, bags, gas tanks. I don't know, various things will be much more useful than that number plate, which has my 113 on there. But and I have a 13 tooth front sprocket, which I've read and watched videos that can be very interesting getting the primary nut off that shaft. So we'll see what happens. Um, yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to ride that guy to work, but it's just hot. I mean, I hate to complain about the heat because I actually like the heat, but it's too hot. And I haven't even really ridden this guy much since putting the heavy duty Barnett clutch in it. And I ordered a Recluse auto clutch for it, which I'll put on later this year. Uh, I haven't even really been doing much wrenching in the garage because it's what 9:30, 10 in the morning right now, maybe earlier. It's already 90 degrees in my garage, and I cooled it off last night with the outside air, but it just, with this equipment, that battery, the solar controller, it gets pretty warm in here pretty fast, and it gets way over 100 on these days that the temperature is around 100. Seriously, think about putting a garage AC in here, one of those through the wall units right above the door. Man, that'd be kind of cool. Just blow some cold air in right there. Yeah. I mean, I've got all the electrical on that wall already, so it wouldn't be that difficult. But anyway, yeah, let's take off this number plate and see what kind of a task it's going to be to install this aluminum number plate, and go from there. Well, I think we can get away with using the DRZ or the KLX300R as a camera mount. I don't know. What do we have here? Tug, strap, brake line, slider. Boy, this looks like maybe it just pops right off. Oh no, there's one bolt up top. Looks like an 8 millimeter. Okay, we have a lot of electronics behind here. I guess that's one thing the number plate was probably doing, right? Keeping water off that, but we don't have a huge water issue here. Sorry about the fan if it's causing all kinds of lots of electronics for a dirt bike. What's going on here? Anyway, let's see. This will have to be on that side. Oh yeah, I think we can make this do something here. Probably cut me a piece of plexiglass or Lexan or something to go behind here to keep wind blasts off the electrical connections. Maybe. Is this going to stick out far enough? I have to come up with some spacers. Find the Allen wrench for this. So I guess some spacers are possible. Just got to find some longer bolts. Let's take a look and see what we have. Well, I do have some spacers, which work beautifully, but this company used SAE hardware, not metric. Really, guys? Come on. Wouldn't be such a big deal, but they embedded the nut in the molding. So I have no way of getting the nut out and putting a metric nut in here. I've got to source, got to go to the hardware store and source some American hardware. Yeah, I think I'll use some zip ties to clean up that. I don't really want to bolt that up tight against these connectors, so we're not going to do that. But I wonder, oh, they're actually bolted onto this Bracket. Okay. Too hot, boys. Too hot. Yeah, I'll have to go to the hardware store. I just don't stock American bolts. I mean, what's the point? Everything's metric these days. 87 degrees and 45% humidity in this garage. Well, I can spin this guy around. See what we got here with this 8mm again, or 8mm heads anyway. This is where keeping your machines clean comes in handy. I admit it doesn't have a whole lot of time on it, but I clean it after every use. Little plastic guard, metal follower, pretty common. We have a bent washer to secure the nut, so try to straighten that out. I don't know if we have enough slack in the chain to get that sprocket off or not. We're gonna find out. I normally run the chains on the dirt bikes pretty loose because of the long travel. The geometry of everything changes a little bit. A lot of the times the chain gets tighter as the suspension compresses, so don't ever put it in gear and do this. Always use the chain in the back tire as your anti-rotation. You don't want to put that, if you're using an impact, you don't want to put that that dugga impact on your transmission. Ever. Don't do that. I cringe when I see it. I cry when I see it. Okay, that's mostly flat. I probably should have shown you that before I straightened it, but let's look. So yeah, this section was bent down over this. Pretty common way of locking the bolt or the nut. And as I was saying earlier, if you're going to put an impact on this, do not put it in gear. You don't want to put that stress on your transmission or your clutch basket or any of that stuff. You want to have someone hold the back tire, hold the back brake, and put the stress, mechanical stress on the chain, the drive system back here. That's really almost impossible to hurt anything back here doing it that way. The other way, you could damage your transmission, you could damage your clutch basket. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So, all right, let's go find the right socket, bust out the dugga. Hopefully have a battery that's charged for the dugga. So yeah, that wasn't hard at all. I don't know why people are crying about it. It popped right off without any effort, so okay, that should be enough. Let's just do this, right? All right. One tooth down. It's not a street bike anyway, right? Needs more oomph. Okay. Don't know if we can get our chain back on, but let's try it. Oh yeah, no problem. And I'm going to put a little Loctite on here and go with the dugga back on. Then bend the washer over. Then adjust the chain and we're good until we run over to the hardware store to source some American bolts. Because America. Using blue, not permanent. Not a permanent kind of guy. When you do this, make sure your washer splines line back up with your splines on your output shaft, right? Pull that output shaft out if you have to and push everything in a little further. And get these splines lined up before you tighten it down. Because if they're not lined up and they're mismatched like this, you're going to tighten it down. It's not actually going to be tight. You're just going to be smashing metal and then it's going to come loose on you down the road. And you're going to be scratching your head doing the John Travolta thing. A chisel would probably work better, but I have a little tiny space to work with. So I'm going to get it started with my screwdriver. And then I'll switch to the chisel. And then over to the back side of the chisel. We don't want to cut grooves in our lock washer, right? Lock like there's no tomorrow. Tapping the axle forward up against the adjuster as I tighten the nut. Don't want a slippery floor. Okay. Putting the guard back on. It'll be interesting to see if I was in your way 90% of the time filming this. Well, there's that. We just need spacers, or we have spacers, we just need bolts. So tune in next time when we source some bolts to put the number plate on. Okay, we are back. I need to recenter some of those washers. But yeah, we went and sourced some American bolts. Got it bolted up. Once it's together, it's pretty sturdy. Don't get too carried away tightening up these bolts, because this is a 3D printed, looks like filament 3D print. I don't know what material they use, but you don't want to crack it and have the nut start spinning inside, right? Then things suck. So yeah, it's on. It's pretty solid. Spaced out enough to avoid my electrical. And yeah, we could do something crazy like mount a light or something on there if we really wanted to, I guess. I mean, I'd rather get a better quality light, but we have these goofy guys. We could mount one up there like a big old Cyclops. I don't know. But yeah, so 13 tooth counter sprocket. And was this a Gravitas Molly number plate? Not bad. I need to zip tie up those flaps, the extra rubber, which shouldn't be too difficult. And it's good to go. All right, just for giggles, went with the Cyclops look. Threw an old driving light on there, just to give you an idea what you could do. I mean, you could do a light bar right across the bottom, or I think the higher the better, right? So you could do a light bar across there, one of those 7-inch or 8-inch light bars, or one of those, or a really good quality, like a Cyclops or something up there for a headlight. But yeah, got these zip tied up. Like I said, it's pretty rigid once it's on. It just seems kind of cheesy when you're putting it together, but it's actually a pretty good piece. I think it's $115, maybe $105. I don't remember. That driving light is not connected, by the way. It's just bolted up there. If I put one on there, I'm going to go with a little bit better quality one. But anyway, yeah, there we go. And a Molly number plate. Not a lot of mods on this guy. We got a skid plate. Put some shock socks on there. Service wind deflector / handguard things. Got some high-rise bars on it. That funky little rearview mirror is from the kit that came for the KLX300R, the street legal kit. What else did we do? We bolted a tail pack on here. We got really nice radiator guards. And we already said the skid plate. Got a 12-volt charging receptacle on it for accessories or battery charging. That's about it. She's mostly stock. I do have a fuel controller on it to richen it up a little bit on idle and low to mid range. These things are notoriously lean, like everything else, right? Down low, it runs a lot cooler and runs a lot better. Still has the old evap canister on there. I didn't bother taking that off. I did plug the pair injection. This is the R model, so it doesn't have an O2 sensor or any of that going on. Yeah, but it's a fun bike. I think it's right at 300 pounds, gassed up, ready to go. So, you know, really puts things into perspective when you consider that guy's street legal and it's a 400 and it's only 17 pounds heavier than this one. I don't know. And it's 20 years old. Although the KLX300 chassis platform is getting long in the tooth as well. But yeah, man, I'd love to go ride, but it is 98 degrees and I'm too old. I'd die. Anyway, I don't know if you had any entertainment value from this video, but you know, thanks for watching if you lasted this long. And as soon as we can, we'll take it out for a test ride. I'll see you guys out there.
Target locked. Enemy vehicle